Well, let's get you some breaking news that's now coming in. Sri Lanka has refused the United States' request to land warplanes on their soil. Sri Lanka has refused permission for the US after they sought permission to land two of their warplanes in the island's southeast. This request came in early March. We're given to understand that the Sri Lankan president told the parliament in Colombo that he had denied this request that was made by the United States, that two US warplanes from Djibouti were asked for permission to land in Sri Lanka. That was denied by Colombo.
All right. We are also being told that this was during a meeting as far as Ambassador Sergio Gore, who, as we all know, is the US envoy to South and Central Asia, that this entire fact got revealed, even though President Dissanayake has indeed discussed this in the parliament. This is also a moment which is in fact displaying Sri Lanka's own strategic autonomy. Let's quickly take this forward with Griha Atul, who's joining me live from the newsroom with more inputs. So Griha, days after we've seen how IRIS Dana was torpedoed by the United States, now this revelation coming to the forefront, what is one to make of Sri Lanka's own stance at the moment?
Right, absolutely. And adding to that information, Iris Dana was torpedoed, but after that, Iris Bushehr was granted that safe haven in a port near Colombo. And that is the strategic interest that also Sri Lanka needs to look at when it is maintaining that neutrality, and possibly why we have seen this version now come to fore by Dissanayake, where he went about making this assertion in the parliament that two of the US warplanes were denied landing at Matala. And that is something which was not just once. This was not just asked of by the US once of Colombo, it was twice. One on March 4th, and the other request was sent out by the US to Sri Lanka on the 8th of March, and both of those requests were denied because Sri Lanka is clear it does not want to sway from its stance of neutrality and enter into any kind of conflict where its territory or its airbase can be used to probably increase that onslaught, possibly along the Strait of Hormuz, because like Poonam also was mentioning, Akanksha, from Djibouti, these two warships were asking for the permission to land in an airbase in Sri Lanka, and that's where the crucial aspect of this entire development really lies. And you just mentioned about how this detail was shared by Dissanayake after his meeting with Sergio Gore. That is also important. So there were conversation channels that were open between Sri Lanka and the United States of America, but still no grant of both the ships to be landing there, both the planes to be landing, because they had anti-ship missiles on them, 8 of those. And that is where it could have gotten tricky for Sri Lanka, because its base could have been used to further attack the vessels or Iran along the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, we'll have to see how Sri Lanka takes this forward now with the United States as far as the overall security of the Indo-Pacific is concerned, given that they've been very vocal about how it is now a tension which is spilling over to the Indian Ocean region.
Absolutely, and that's something that India has to be wary of as well. And how prolonged this war is going to be, that will decide how many more countries are caught in the crossfire. We'll keep a track of that and much more here on CNN News 18. But for now, it's time for a quick break. And after the break, we have an exclusive coming in from Battleground Kerala. The state heads to elections. We sit down with the Chief Minister of the state for an exclusive conversation. Don't go anywhere.